Design number 14. A picturesque symmetrical house. A floor plan from the 1850s. This house is at 196 Montgomery Street in Newburgh, New York. The house was built in 1854. This design was prepared and executed for Mr. W.E. Warren of Newburgh. It is situated in Montgomery Street, which is a straight road running parallel with the river at a considerable elevation, commanding beautiful views of West Point, the Highlands, and the Hudson. From this level the cross streets descend with a steep pitch to the shore, and the building sites, in consequence, slope considerably. As Mr. Warren's house was to be built on a corner lot, this peculiarity of position became very conspicuous and required to be considered with some care when preparing the plans so as to avoid a stilted, disagreeable effect. The entrance front of the house faces on Montgomery Street and is seen in the ordinary way on a level with the street. The design is therefore made with gables accordingly. The rear, on the other hand, is conspicuous, chiefly from the lower streets and from the river, and as it provides a basement story entirely out of ground, on account of the rapid descent of the hill, the whole front is, in consequence, of an altered proportion, and required a different treatment. The roof in this part of the design is hipped back, without gables, as will be seen on the lower view, and dormer windows are introduced to give light to the attic bedrooms. The apparent height of the rear elevation is materially reduced by this arrangement, and the general effect is altogether made more easy than if gables had been introduced corresponding with those on the opposite side. A recessed porch opens into a hall 12 feet square, in which are cloak-closets, and the doors to the principal apartments and staircase. The room called study is fitted up with washstand, etc., in a closet, so that it may be used as a bedroom or sick room at any time. And the small room by the staircase is well suited, and is at present used for a private office instead of a sleeping apartment, as at first proposed. The doors in the hall are grouped together, with a panel for a picture between each pair. There are 2 parlors connected by sliding doors, and opening onto a piazza 12 feet wide. This last feature of the composition is made very roomy, as it commands an extended view of the river, while the ornamental plot of ground attached to the house is but of small dimensions, and is at a much lower level. This veranda, therefore, is sure to be the chief summer resort of the inmates, and is made of large size, with a balcony over which, as it faces east, is in shadow during the evening, and affords an agreeable accessory to the bedrooms connecting with it. The chamber plan contains 4 bedrooms, bathroom, water closet, and linen press. The attic provides several spare rooms, as shown. In the basement is the dining room, with a door onto the veranda, and also a roomy kitchen, with other offices. This house is built with an 8-inch wall throughout, above the level of water table, and the beams are supported on iron rests, as described in the opening chapter. The interior has been well finished throughout under the superintendence of the architect, and the work was done by the day, in the best manner, and of the best materials, the cost being $11,967. The mason's bill in a contract often covers the tinner's work in connection with leaders, which is not here charged to him, as that and the plumbing were in one account. The bill for paving, on the other hand, includes considerable work that would scarcely belong to a mason's contract. The cost of grates and range is not taken into the account. The particulars furnished above may be of some interest to anyone about building such a house, as they show the relative amounts of the various bills. But there is so much variety in the style and consequent expense of interior comforts, appliances, and finish, that a detailed estimate of this sort is not so valuable as might at first be supposed. The vignette shows a plan adopted for laying out the grounds. By this plan 2 entrances are planned on Montgomery Street, and one on the side hill, while a space large enough for a cart to get to the garden with manure, etc., is arranged on the left-hand side. A piece of ground of this size should not at any time be filled with very large trees, for flowering shrubs, evergreens, and a few fruit trees would be all sufficient.